Hi, Rick Patterson. Thanks for coming to my video today. Just something really quick. I am in a subdivision that has quite a bit of wood rot problems. And here in the south, I don't know about the north. I've never lived up in the north that long. But here in the south, there's always going to be some wood rot of some sort. Homeowners have to do their very best to get those problems and those issues with wood rot to a pretty good heads up. And so what I've done here is I've climbed on top of a ladder. I'm actually, let me show you this. I'm up on a ladder above a door, and here's a palladium glass window. And what I've got is some wood rot issues. So I'm going to show you this real quick and how to fix this pretty quickly and effectively, and more importantly is inexpensively. Okay, as you can see here, what I've got on the left side of this palladium window is some wood rot, and I'm going to kind of bring this in real quickly. But you can see here the only thing that's holding this in or holding it together is the paint itself, and all of this wood back here is completely rotten. And you can see I can just get into it with my finger. So what I'm going to do is clear this out. Instead of having to replace all of this, I'm just going to attack what is rotted away and then do a patch, and I'll show you exactly how to work this. As you can tell here, I've already done the right side, and again, this is about 2 inches, 2.5 inches that I'm doing there. And the tools that you're going to need, what I've done here is just use a regular screwdriver to dig into it, and then I went ahead and used a box cutter and trimmed everything out neatly, and then dug into get all this, what I just call cancer, wood cancer, and I've gotten some of this in my hand. You can't tell by looking at it, but it is very, very wet. And what was happening, the water was seeping and pooling up here when the wind blew the rain up against the window and the frame, and so it was going down inside. There is a video I'm going to put on here just to kind of show you that literally water was just pouring in at this point here and going down to the window above the door. Let me see if I can get a shot of that right there. So my next step is to use some wood putty. I'm going to fill this up completely and then let it dry, wait 24 hours, come back and then sand it and then paint it and make it almost as good as new. As you can see here on the left hand side, what I'm doing is just clearing all of this out. Be careful not to go all the way through. There's no need to. Any of this right here is not rotten in the very, very back. I've got some nails that are holding everything together. I don't want to interrupt those because that's still solid. This part, the bottom part of the window, is solid, and I don't want to disturb that. And obviously you've got to be very, very, very careful not to disturb the glass at all or the frame itself. This happens to be a double pane window, and if you were to crack the window at any point, whether it's down here or in the body of it, what you're going to do is create a vapor, and you don't want to do that at all. This has argon gas inside, and it's completely sealed, and that's what keeps the moisture or vapor from fogging up the window. So a lot of times when you see fogged up windows, that's what's happened, is the seal has been broken and the argon gas has escaped, and that's what caused cloudy or smoked windows. So going back here, you just got to go back inside and gently just keep probing until you're satisfied that all of the wood rot has gotten out. So I'm going to keep going there, and what I've done is inadvertently had gone all the way through. You see if you can see that right there. See what's happening? And so that's gone all the way through. Now I've got to go on the inside and do my repair as well, and that's just part of the job. You want to make sure that this is completely out of here. So what you're going to do is just keep digging and excavating, so to speak, until all of this wet wood and rotted wood is completely empty. Now that we've cleared out every bit of the hole, now we got to fill it back up. So we're going to use the Elmer's Carpenter's Wood Filler Max. This will take about 24 hours to dry. I like it using this particular filler because it does work well, and as it says here, it does harden 3 times stronger than the original wood filler had done. So I'm going to show you how to apply that now. What I do here is I'm going to use a just a regular spatula, just a 1.5 inch spatula to do all the filling here. So take off the lid. This is not runny, and please excuse my working with one hand and filming with the other. I'm just going to take this and fill this up as much as possible, and there's probably a way to do this better working with one hand, but you get the idea. Just filling this up. Keep pushing down as you go. And again, I really apologize for the lack of cameramanship, if that is a word. But you can kind of get the idea of what I'm doing. Just going to go ahead and pack this up completely. You can kind of clean up as you go, or clean up afterwards. Doesn't matter. I want to get this pretty filled, and you can see I'm taking the back end of my spatula and just filling this up, and as I push in, I'm wiping with an upward stroke, trying to get this as clean as possible. Trying to keep it neat looking. Sometimes you have to be an artist, and there is a bit of craftsmanship and pride that goes into your work when you're working on projects like this. I just try to be neat. That way it makes less work for me. And as you can see, this kind of bevels out at the bottom. I'm going ahead and clean this up as good as I can. Now, this is going to dry. What I'm going to do is sand this, probably put another finish coat on top of it tomorrow. And I need to let this dry for 24 hours. And the more you can clean up as you go, then the less amount of cleanup that you have on the back end. So I'd rather do this much on the front end and have little or no cleanup whatsoever. So tomorrow, after this dries, I'm going to come back in here and sand this really good, and then put a couple of finish coats on here, and trim this up. Along with this, what I've done, as you can tell here, I've removed the caulking. This caulking had failed, so I've already done a video on how to caulk, but I'm just going to show you how to do a little bit in another video. So watch part 3 on this one. Now what I've done is, you can see on the inside, hopefully you can see that blue. It's not showing up out here in the sunlight, but the blue tape, I taped the back of this hole that went all the way through into the foyer of this home. So I've got all this chasm here to fill up. So this is how I'm going to do this side of the window. I've already done the right side. I'm going to do the left side now, and just fill up this void completely, and then wait 24 hours for it to completely dry. Sand it, paint it, caulk the window, and we're done. Okay, so 24 hours later, we're back here at this Palladium, and we've got everything dried and ready to go. It's all hard, and so you sand this down, smooth it out as best as possible. You could even put a second coat on here. There's nothing gonna be wrong with that at all. Then what you do, come back in here and just caulk out the seal all the way around, and you can see this too. We're gonna do this on the same side there, just duplicate the same order, and then you're finished. Patterson with the Handyman Toolbox. By the way, before you go, I want to encourage you to check out my other videos, and you'll see a link below. Click on it. The 1,000th person that subscribes to TheHandymanToolbox.com gets a free tool. Go ahead and register now. See you there.